So many topics. President Trump scored a very big win and a big loss in last night's Georgia runoffs. His Senate candidate, Mike Collins, will advance to face incumbent Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff in November. But the president's pick for governor, Burt Jones, well, he fell short. The group chat is still here. David Gura, what do you make of last night's results? Because Collins, Trump endorsed, Brian Kemp did not. Burt, they both got behind, and he fell short.
So you're getting at something that really fascinates me about the Trump endorsement this day and age, and that is it comes late. And I don't know if that's because of indecision on his part. He doesn't know which horse to back, or he's
Did
worried.
you not watch The Apprentice? He likes to make you wait
till the very
it out.
end.
Yes.
But one wonders about the efficacy of that endorsement in light of that. So he's clearly very happy that he has backed a lot of candidates who've done well. There have been very few losses in these primaries. But you look at Texas. He put his endorsement in that race late. He did the same thing here in Georgia. And so what happens is there are these bruising... And Iowa. These kind of bruising and very expensive primaries in the run-up to that. And so he can take credit for all of this, but I think a lot of Republicans and indeed Democrats would say a lot of damage is done here because both of these candidates aired a lot of dirty laundry on the other's part. Now that's going to kind of dog them into the general election. But I spoke with Raphael Warnock, the senator from Georgia, yesterday about kind of the political terrain in that state, a purple state, of course. He and Jon Ossoff both won. They feel that it's still a contested state, that Democrats can do well there. I mentioned money a moment ago. I think a ton of money is going to get poured into this race. And Jon Ossoff, of course, against whom Mr. Collins will be running, has raised something like $50 million already.
Pastor Warnock is keeping the faith.
Yes.
Much like Georgia, you just said it, your home state of Iowa opted not to pick the Trump-backed candidate for governor. What does that suggest about voters?
First of all, Randy Feenstra was the candidate that Trump endorsed. He's a congressman from Northwest Iowa. And it boils down to he is in favor of carbon pipelines that take CO2 and bury it in the ground to make ethanol, okay? And Randy Feenstra likes these pipelines, and the rural Republican base hates them. And so he lost based on that. Trump didn't recognize it. Trump said, I got bad information before his last-minute endorsement. And the guy who won, Trump later said, is more like Trump than Trump is. So he's a Maha guy. His name is Zach Lane, L-A-H-N. And he wants to take on big ag and break it up, and big pharma and break it up, and clean up Iowa's water. We're the top cancer state in the country.
My gosh. David, here's what's complicated. Trump endorsements in these Senate races have been very successful, right? And if they end up successful in the general, well, then the Republican caucus is going to look even Trumpier. However, it's a dangerous game because these Trump-endorsed candidates have a harder time winning in the general.
I think, but the president, most of all, wants a Senate that obeys him and wants a Senate that, let's be honest, if the House is won by the Democrat, there's a chance we could have yet another Trump impeachment. So he wants as many completely loyal senators to him personally as possible in the Senate.
And that risk is worth it to him.
Yes, and I think look, like all politicians, and you could say, criticism of Chuck Schumer, maybe the president's a little overconfident about how many of these people will win in the general elections. You're right about that problem. But look, he's dominated the Republican Party in a masterful way. Look at his poll numbers right now. Look at gas prices. Look at all the bad things that are happening. But his candidates are winning in most of these primaries.